What is going on, Only Playbook fans? We are back for another week. Drafts are right around the corner, so we thought it'd be fun to do a mock draft. The three of us are here. We are going to do a 12-team half-point PPR snake-style redraft league mock draft. I'm Swikar. I got Shovit and Shashowt alongside me. Shovit, I'll kick it off to you first. Mock drafts. You ready to spill your secrets, or are you going to pull the reverse switcheroo and just do all the backwards things?
I'm an open book. I will give you all the secrets. So stay tuned because you're going to find some players here that are going to win you some, fantasy leagues.
Christian Watson, round 3. Can't wait for it. Shashowt, how are you feeling, man?
I feel good. I get to draft number 1. I never get to draft number 1. So getting to do that is kind of nice. I'm excited.
It felt fitting considering you won the league last year that we give you the number 1 spot in this mock draft. So it makes sense. So you are drafting number 1. I think in regular draft, you're where? 9, 10?
I'm at 11.
Oh, shit. You're 11. So 11, you're drafting at 1. Shovit, you're second normally. You're drafting at 6, so kind of in the middle. I'm usually 8, and I'm going to take the turn at 12. So it'll be interesting to see what players we end up with here because this is just going to tell us what team we're not going to have. So that'll be kind of fun in its own unique way, I guess. Do you guys have any questions about how this draft is going to go before we just kick it off?
Nope.
All
right.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Let's spill all the secrets and begin this mock draft. Shashowt, you are on the clock.
All right. So I don't know what the purpose of this mock draft is. If the purpose of this mock draft is to see what you can do, how you can mess around and still get a good team, try creative things, or try to do the best thing you can possibly do and see what type of team you can get. I think I'm going to lean more on the creative side because I've done a lot of these mock drafts and nobody really wants to do odd scenarios. People just go for the standard of care. So I'm going to spice things up a little bit and I'm going to jump a couple spots and I'm going to draft maybe 1 to see how this unfolds.
Nice.
How that's spicy for the viewers, but I don't think that was spicy to me at all. I automatically assumed you're going to take Tyreek Hill at 1. So
yeah.
Shovit, you're on the clock at 6.
Wow. So now I have players that I did not think, I didn't think Jamar Chase would be here at number 5 for me. I was not ready for that. I've got Breece Hall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, Jonathan Taylor. I am going to let's go with the hero running back strategy. I think Breece Hall is going to be a dominant force this year. And I just want that solid foundation in the running back. So I'm going to go Breece Hall here. Someone else can have Chase.
Okay. So Chase, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, and Gibbs go there. I feel like almost every mock draft I've seen, maybe you flip-flop AJ Brown and St. Brown there, but the first 8 picks have been some combination of every single player that's going here top 7. And then again, AJ Brown was 9 and Amon-Ra was 8. Do you guys feel like there's anybody between now and 3 weeks draft day that has the possibility to sneak into that top 7? Or does it seem like that's kind of set in stone? Or do you have secrets there that you're just not going to tell the podcast? I don't know.
I mean, I don't hate Amon-Ra St. Brown to be higher than where he is right now. Instead of Bijan Robinson, I could, if I had the 5th pick, I'd be inclined to pick him. Even at 6, I was considering doing Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I think he's a guy that can move up personally for me.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. I think the hype is real, the targets are real, and the hands are real. 2 people that I can see kind of sneaking into that range is probably Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison because they're what they got. That's what the team got, and the team has pretty good quarterbacks, and it seems like those are both going to be studs in the future, anyways, in the rest of the season. So I can see them jumping up there.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. I think AJ Brown seems interesting just because if Jamar Chase contract holdout is real, we don't know how legitimate it is. And then Justin Jefferson's situation continues to loom, although I'm not as concerned about it, but the national spotlight seems to be with Sam Darnold. Oh, JJ McCarthy went down. So I think
more targets.
Yeah. I think the national media was under the impression that at some point Justin Jefferson was going to have JJ McCarthy throwing him the football. And for whatever reason, they thought that was going to be better than what Sam Darnold was going to do. And I don't think Vikings fans ever really felt that way because I personally never thought that JJ McCarthy was going to play this year. So, and knowing the type of offense that we run, I think, again, targets are galore, passing is galore. So I don't have him necessarily slipping like other people do, but I have seen Chase slip a little bit. And Shovit, I'm with you. Amon-Ra St. Brown provides probably the safest floor of anybody out of the top 7 or 8 picks, probably. Maybe safer than CMC because CMC could just get hurt. So that's why I do think he could also sneak into the top 5. So I'm here at the turn 12 and 13. Interesting strategy here. So Shashowt went receiver. Shovit, you went running back. Garrett Wilson is best available player on the board. He would probably be the best. He's ranked the highest receiver for me here that's available. And then I believe I have Kyron a little ahead of Saquon, or maybe I have Saquon slightly ahead. But I have felt myself teetering back and forth between what position I like more in like 5th, 6th round, whether sometimes it seems like running backs are there more. Sometimes it feels like receivers are there more. So I'm going to be with you here, Shashowt, and I'm going to try to just be creative with what I think is the best thing available for me and not necessarily be concerned with positions. So I'm going to take Garrett Wilson right now. And then with my second pick, I am actually going to double up on receiver. Yeah, I'm going to double up on receiver, and I'm going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. So
Nice.
I have Garrett Wilson and
I'm
Marvin
sweating
Harrison
a little
Jr.
bit.
two people that have basically proven absolutely nothing. But this is what you do to win leagues and not just survive.
All right, so top of the list, I've got Drake London there, Josh Allen. I'm not looking at quarterbacks right now. Derrick Henry, I don't really care to have like a too strong running back duo right off the bat. Guy I'm looking at right now, Drake London certainly is a guy, but Chris Olave to me, I think it's time. I think they recently got a new offensive coordinator. I think he gets his targets, he gets the air yards. We just need both of those to connect, and I think that I'm okay with taking a pick on Olave here. I think this is the year that he will prove fruitful for fantasy owners. So I'm going Olave with the second pick.
Little surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Because I remember last episode you were not so high on Olave.
Very contrary to what you talked about Olave with last episode. I was going to say the exact same thing. So it seems like we changed your mind. So I'll give us the credit. The last episode where we hyped up Olave, that's clearly persuade you a little bit.
Lots of moons have passed since then.
Literally, their offensive coordinator was the same last week and this week, Shovit. So no real changes have taken place since last week to this week.
Didn't they get a new offensive coordinator? I thought they did.
This week. This week.
You look back at the data and then you realize, hey, Derek Carr and Olave connection could be real. And I've gone every year I've had Olave, and this year's the year I need to.
The smartest man is always one who is most adaptable. And
there we go.
Since we're adapting here, pretty solid choice there. Solid choice.
But I can't tell if he's doing this simply because he knows this isn't his real team and this is a mock. So time will tell when he says "fuck Olave" during the real draft day.
I have.
All right, Shashowt, you're back on the clock.
Turnaround. Make sure to get Olave before then.
All right. So just one thing about me is I always try to trade down because I can never trade up to 1. It's just nobody wants to do that, right? So I always try to trade down to 12, and I can never get that. So I love these turns where you can just snatch 2 people right off the bat and higher ADP. It's just I just love the turns. So having this opportunity to get another stud wide receiver, or I can get a running back that I've been high on for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and just this is it. This is the difference between doing what everybody else tells you to do and you making your own decisions. And I'm going to make a decision here, a pretty easy one. And I'm going to go with Derrick Henry here because I'm going to chase the touchdowns here, which is stupid to do for, in fantasy football. You never chase the touchdowns unless you're on an offense that has Derrick Henry and possibly an aging Lamar Jackson that they don't want to beat up too bad.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the touchdowns plus or minus is like 9.5. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's been double digits his whole life, and the situation just got better. So, and the opportunities are going to be so much more than has ever been for the Titans. So we will see, man. We will see. And then, just because I don't think I'll get this opportunity later, I'm going to do it. You got to walk the walk. You got to talk the talk. And I'm going to go ahead and cover my running backs with people that are going to get a lot of targets and going to get a lot of touches near the end zone, especially with the new injury to the backups in the Packer world. A lot of goal line opportunities, most likely. So, Jacobs, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Pull the trigger.
Nice. All right. Okay. So, on this third round, still not going quarterback. I see 2 receivers that I'm really keen on adding. One of them being Nico Collins, the other one being DJ Moore. And then Cooper Kupp is also still there at 41 that I really like as well. But I'm not going to reach. And it's between Nico Collins or DJ Moore. The whole 3 receiver situation in Houston scares me a little bit more. So I am going to actually go with DJ Moore as my
They got
second
3
receiver.
pretty good receivers over there too.
Roma Dunze, I think he's good, but he's going to take some time to get to that target share. So I'm not too worried about that.
All right. So Patrick Mahomes, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Waddle, which sucks. I wanted Waddle, Hurts, and Rashad White are taken. So I am here at 312, back-to-back receivers. This is the spot that I hated, and I thought I would get into the situation of where this is a round where I love all the receivers, and quite frankly, I don't necessarily need to take a receiver. But again, like Shashowt said early on, time to get a little creative. So if I go complete zero RB strategy here and I go back to back to back receivers, ooh, man, there's a lot of good names on the board. This is really scary for me here.
I'm trying to remember what I did last year. I think did I go 3 wide receivers in a row?
I think
you
so.
might have Tyreek and CD, right?
Yeah.
And then who would have been?
I think I went Lamar. I think that's when I went Lamar.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that because I went Allen in the third after you. All right, so I'm going to go third wide receiver. I'm not going to do the Nico Collins Diggs dance just because I don't want to try to guess who's going to be the guy. So instead, I am actually going to do what nobody in the history of fantasy football has probably ever done: take 3 receivers back to back to back, all of which have basically proven next to nothing in the NFL. And I'm going to take the other rookie receiver, Malik Neighbors, because there is nobody, because this guy is one of one, because this is basically Odell Beckham Jr. coming to the Giants again with having no other receivers, except I actually think Neighbors is more talented. Will he be more productive? I have no idea. Daniel Jones is going to be the cause of whether he is or not, but I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of Malik Neighbors. And coming back, I do desperately need a running back here, it feels like, even though, goddamn, DK Metcalf and Cooper Kupp as wide receiver 4.
You can't start 4 players, Swikar.
Which would be pretty crazy. Make it some early trade bait. So I think I am going to actually go with my guy who I have inside my top 12, I believe, of running backs, James Cook.
Wow. Nice.
There's
good thought process there.
Okay. All right. So Michael Pittman, Devontae Smith, CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Trey McBride. And Alvin Kamara is still there. So from here, I wish Kupp was still there. I would have loved to pick him up there.
That would have been a great pick for Kupp.
Yeah. But he's not. And so with that being said, I am going to I'm leaning towards Alvin Kamara. Man, I'm doubling down the Saints. I think Alvin Kamara is a running back that should be able to produce this year. I know he hasn't been in last year. I think injuries were an issue, but he has no competition, right? I don't think Kendra Miller is going to be an issue either. So, yeah, I'm going to go Alvin Kamara here.
Nice. Man, getting big chunks of that Derek Carr-led offense, man. Holy
I am right now.
He's going for a lot of fourth quarter comebacks there.
He might be getting the triple stack in the 14th round. You can probably get Derek Carr down there. So,
hey,
speaking of stacks, and I know I'm a big Anthony Richardson guy.
There's no way you're taking Tua here. Just take Tua on the 4th. Let's do it.
It's a different kind of stack. We're gonna do.
Oh no, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing here.
No, we're not going that creative. All right, so I just don't know. I've never been a 3 starting running back this early guy, because I'm one of those people that kind of knows the ins and outs of what's going on during preseason and the early times of the football year. So, it's easy to snipe up some running backs from the bench, from the free agency, but I enjoy doing that. That's a big part of why I even do fantasy football, because that stuff tends to hit more than it doesn't hit. So I could always rely on that method. Swikar, looks like you're relying on that method after going 3 wide receivers. And that method has literally never let me down. But I'm going to go complete 180, go big running backs, because of how many wide receivers there are out there. I've literally never done this besides on mock drafts. So let's see how this plays out. I'm going to go with another starter that I just think will get the lion's share of the work. And schedule's pretty okay. So we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. You got to go for your guys, no matter
Wow.
no matter how low. You just gotta make those decisions. And
Something
Get your man.
Showt and getting these white running backs earlier than they're supposed to be gotten, only for them to pop off. Last year it was Rashad. This year it might be Zamir. So
yeah. Okay, so I've got 2 running backs that I drafted. I got 2 receivers. I could go tight end here. Dalton Kincaid is there. There's a lot of balls, targets that he should get this year. I'm also looking at George Pickens, man. Like, the Steelers, he's the number 1 wide receiver 1 there. Van Jefferson, they did get Van Jefferson as well, but I think that they're really going to figure out how to utilize him this year. And Russell Wilson's been looking pretty good, but there is that fact that the Steelers offense as a whole may not produce total points. So with that being said, what am I going to do? This is tough, actually. This is pretty tough. Yeah, I am going to go with Dalton Kincaid. Let's go. Lock that in.
solid. Aaron Jones goes after that. Back-to-back tight ends right after that. Pitts and Kittle, Amari Cooper, and George Pickens goes. So all the guys you basically discussed went. So that puts me back on the clock. Again, 3 receivers and a running back on the roster. God, dude, the receivers are so nice, and I don't need any of them. It's just really a terrible spot to be in. Every single thing on my board is just good receivers, and I just don't want any of that. What am I going to do here?
Dude, I have an insane strategy here that may be kind of dumb, but just think about it. You don't have to do it. You could draft both Montgomery and Swift back to back right here, and that will just solidify you all the gains from the Lions' perspective. It's a debate. You're gonna have to decide who to start every week.
But Swift is not on the Lions anymore. He's on the Bears.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
my bad.
That would be kind of cool if I did that. I was thinking about doing that with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum somewhere down the road, but I didn't get Kyron either, so big fail.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The running backs, I mean, Connor's very steady, but he offers kind of a floor, I guess. I think James Cook kind of offers me more of upside and a higher ceiling, so Connor could be a decent floor play with that. DeAndre Swift for the Bears, but I don't necessarily love touching that backfield with Herbert and Roschon still there. And if I want to get even more disgusting, I mean, Ramondre Stevenson is a guy that I have continuously been kind of high on, but their offense is so gross. They're so gross. They're so gross, but it's almost like you're so gross that the only guy that's been there long enough to be able to be somebody is Ramondre.
Oh, so for sure, he's definitely the most reliable person in New England. That's for sure.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, is the offense going to run through Ramondre? So I guess, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to go ahead and take Ramondre Stevenson here. Or am I going to say F all that noise, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to actually take a 4th receiver, a guy that I'm pretty high on, and I'm going to reach pretty high for him compared to who else is up here. But sometimes you just got to do it because it's a mock draft. So I'm going to take, taking Jaden Reed here at the end of the 5th. Half-point PPR machine. He'll probably catch the same amount of passes as Chris Olave. So it's just going to be about how many touchdowns he converts, really. So I'm excited to see all those catches that he gets.
Yep.
And then back on the turn, now I probably should go running back, but I really don't want to. But I think I'm going to just take the steady Eddie and
just take one more wide receiver just to see what it feels like.
I mean, I could. I really could. But David Montgomery is going to offer me the floor that Cook is going to give me the upside. So it's going to be a nice, real balance and counterpunch to each other.
Nice. Cool. All right. Solid. All right. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit because I got Olave and Moore as my receivers, and I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. It's so scary.
I'm looking at Garrett Wilson, Harrison, Neighbors. And if they all hit, then that's pretty.
He's looking at my team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm scared. So I'm looking at receiver, and one guy that jumps off the board is Xavier Worthy. I think he's with Hollywood Brown being out, Rashee Rice being suspended for a couple of games, he'll have the opportunity to kind of showcase himself. And with the way my team is looking, I think I need to take that flyer. I am going to reach a little bit and take Xavier Worthy here.
That's a big upside play. I like it. I like it with the way your team is set up currently.
Oh man. All right. Now to get to it's the Ash Ketchum turning your head backwards time.
Oh wow.
It's the time to actually take some thinking.
Dude,
It's
there's
got
so
to be
many
a
good
receiver,
players.
but I think the injuries over the last couple of weeks have made things a little difficult. Jordan Addison was ankle, shouldn't be that big of a deal by the game time, but Hollywood Brown with his sternoclavicular, I think he dislocated it. So they said sprain/dislocation, but how long he's out, they're projecting him to miss like the week 1. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. He could take another hit and just be out again. So I'm staying the hell away from Hollywood Brown, even though that was going to be one of my sleepers, low-key draft picks. We got Ladd McConkey going to be just funneling in targets, but he's injured. I just don't know how the gravity of the situation is. And then Deontay Johnson, one of my late round possible picks, now he's hurt too. He's got this quad, or was it a groin strain? And he's old now. So I just don't know how he's going to recover from a groin strain. It's pretty big injury for a wide receiver. So it's all these terrible, terrible news over the last couple of days. But that just tells me that, not a player that's an obvious choice here, but a player nonetheless that is going to be in a better offense with more of a focal point pointed towards him because his counterpart's also injured. And if I'm saying the Will Levis theory is correct, then Calvin Ridley has to be my wide receiver too, and he's got to hit. Otherwise, I got the whole thing wrong, which doesn't happen too often. So I'm pretty confident about this Ridley situation in regards to the Tennessee offense. Now, we've got a flex already who's a running back, which is rare. Hadn't done that in a while. And I got 2 wide receivers who I'm pretty comfortable with and already got my quarterback. I could go tight end here. Evan Ingram's just sitting there eating his popcorn, looking at me, but I'm not looking anywhere near his direction. It's tough. I could pick another running back here because it's I
don't want to sway your decision, but I'm obviously not as high on Calvin Ridley, but what are your thoughts here with Rashee Rice? I feel like Rashee Rice is being incredibly undervalued. If he gets suspended, I mean, it could happen for a couple games, or it could just happen next year, which is what a lot of suspensions do nowadays. And at that point, you're getting the number 1 receiver on the Chiefs, which again, you guys are higher on Worthy than I am. I still think Rashee Rice is the guy, and I just don't understand the ADP for him right now.
Yeah. Worthy is nowhere near Rashee Rice because of the pure volume Rashee Rice can get on his size. He can't really, there's not a play he can't make. There's a lot of plays Worthy can't make. It's going to be a lot of booming and a lot of screens and a lot of big time plays for Worthy to be successful. I'm just, injuries. I'm looking for players that I can count on week by week. And I think Ridley's situation is more alluring to me than Worthy. Than Rashee Rice, even though Rashee Rice at the end could end up with more touchdowns or more yards. I just think the volume alone is going to be just friendly for Ridley because there's really nowhere else to go, to be honest with you. The Tennessee offense is not the same. They have good running backs who are going to catch a fair amount of passes, but they're going to be down in a lot of games, and they're going to need Ridley versus the Chiefs. I'm not sure if they're going to need Rashee, but the amount of volume he's going to get is going to make up for it by the end of the season. I just think you can't really go wrong here, but I'm just going with more of a safety net, a little bit wider approach with Ridley than Rashee Rice. But the good thing is I can pick them both right now. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you absolutely can. I honestly, that's where I thought you were personally going to go, to be honest. But I don't know if his ADP is just based on the fact that they think he's going to get suspended.
I'm sure it's playing a role there, but a lot of talk, a lot of the news the last 2-3 days have said that he's not even going to get suspended. So I don't know what to believe, but he's not going to be a starter looking at this lineup. So it's a fair decision to make.
Yeah, I don't get the ADP of Worthy already being a higher ADP than Rashee Rice, and he's a rookie. I really do not understand that at all.
I mean, it's because of Hollywood Brown, right? Him getting injured. I mean, that's like just more to go around, and the suspension and all that. I mean, we'll see how they play him. I mean, if he plays like Tyreek Hill, then sky's the limit for that guy.
That's what they said about every fast guy ever, though. That's the thing. Not every fast guy ends up like Tyreek Hill. Is what I'm trying to say.
Tyreek Hill's mass, like body mass to size ratio, is like wild versus some of these other fast guys. Yeah, he's literally like a muscle hamster, like just running around.
Yeah. Okay, so I am on the clock, and I've got a maybe a receiver. Maybe this is a good time to get quarterback too. Might be a little bit too early for my taste. Let's see. There's still a lot of good running backs, I think, in play here. One guy that I'm definitely looking at is Javonte Williams. The offense isn't so good, but I think he'll have a lot of carries as well, and his backup isn't that terrible either. So if something goes down, I can always try to handcuff him later on. So that's who I am looking at. I don't care for Jordan Addison, Hollywood Brown. Don't care for tight end here either. So Nick Chubb is not terrible, but we got Foreman in the mix. That's going to kind of, and Ford take away some of that. Zach Moss isn't a terrible pick either, but I'm going to go with Javonte Williams here.
All right.
Yeah, big risk play, but I mean, again, if he's 2 years removed from that injury, which as far as everything I've seen is that's the year that you're actually supposed to be fully healed or better. So maybe this is the bounce back year that they're finally waiting for him to come around on. But Javonte goes, and then Evan Ingram, DeAndre Swift, Mostert, Odunze, and Ladd, back-to-back rookie receivers. So I am back on the clock here with 4 receivers and 2 running backs. So I could go quarterback. I could go tight end. I could go another running back. Tony Pollard, best available player on the board, or best running back on the board. You got Brock Bowers, Jordan Love. Could go Brock Bowers. God, that would be a young team. I would be just going full on, just guys that have never touched the NFL in their life. Yeah, I need a veteran presence here in case these rookies decide to get, yeah. Oh my God. Dude pulls a hamstring coming into the fucking huddle, bro. Like, no chance. I will go with a running back here no, actually I won't do that. I am going to go Brock Bowers, to be honest with you, because the way I'm drafting this team is full upside play, right? This is a mock draft for a reason. I am taking, besides David Montgomery, basically everybody on this team is like playing for upside. He's the only guy that really offers me a floor that has been found. I guess Cook kind of had a floor last year, but even then, we don't know what that offense is going to look like with no receivers or brand new receivers. So I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to go Brock Bowers as my tight end here. The dude is basically going to line up as wide receiver 2. And that brings me back around.
Swikar still drafting his dynasty league right now.
Yeah,
this would be an incredible dynasty team. Holy shit. I would be a dynasty.
Yeah, Montgomery's your veteran presence there.
Yeah, Montgomery is the leader, dude. He needs to be like going to do the coin toss, right? Talking to the team when they're like just fucking around. All right, I could go Jordan Love here. I'm big on Jordan Love. My only fear is if I don't take Jordan Love, I know one of you guys. Actually, most
won't be me. I already have a quarterback.
Yeah, but it's a mock. That's never gonna stop you. You can like, fuck it. I should take another one. Like, so I could wait for quarterback. If I don't take Love, I don't know personally that Jaden Daniels is going to make it back to me.
Love is like next best available. He's definitely going to be gone.
Yeah, Love will be gone. But my thing is, if I don't take Love, I'm taking a risk that Jaden Daniels comes all the way back around to me, which based on every other team having a quarterback except for Shovit's team or something, that could be a possibility. But now Shovit could easily just snipe Jaden Daniels in one of the 2 picks he has here. So you could. I mean, that would be wise. That would be a wise thing to do right now. Man, I'm stumped here. I need a running back. I don't love Tony Pollard. I'm so conflicted on this Pollard Spear stuff. Seems like complete coin toss of who's going to be the guy. It feels like a 50% workload. And I don't want to draft a guy that I know is completely a 50% workload. Nick Chubb's not going to be ready for the beginning of the year. Zach Moss, I was huge on until everybody just wanted to continue to say Chase Brown. I swear to God, Chase Brown.
What has Chase Brown?
Nothing. He's done nothing. That's why I can't fathom this stupid ass hype. This is some Dameon Pierce bullshit. I just can't. Like, I'm so annoyed with that because I feel like I could walk out of every single draft with a starting running back in Zach Moss, to be honest. But the fear is I go balls deep with Zach Moss.
Did you trade Zach Moss and get Chase Brown? Is that what you did?
Where?
You showed your team the other day and it had Chase Brown in it. Yeah,
I didn't know you had Chase Brown. Yeah, I drafted.
Didn't you draft? You have both?
I don't have Zach Moss in my dynasty. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I just have Chase Brown because it's a dynasty league. That's why I was like, I could go if I had to pick one. I'm gonna go the young guy. But you know what? I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid of the guy that I've been hyping up all season. F this Chase Brown bullshit noise that everybody sleeper wants to throw me every single day. I'm like, I'm not buying it, bro. Show me him do that. Let him do that on the football field when the regular season starts, and then I'll finally believe it. Till then, Zach Moss is my guy because he's proven to do it.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right. I'm still not ready for quarterbacks, honestly. I know Jaden Daniels is there, but
Love is there still.
Love is still there, but I am going to still not get a quarterback. I am looking at some wide receiver opportunities. And you know what? I also want a second running back or second rookie receiver. So Keon Coleman, target share should be there. You can I have Dalton Kincaid, but just more targets to get around from the Bills, which should be a pretty decent offense this year. So I'm gonna go Keon Coleman here.
Yeah, I want to get as many passes from Josh Allen too, so I like that pick.
I would have already clicked the button by now, but I have to. It's a podcast, so I got to explain some stuff. I'm gonna get Austin Eckler here. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go here for the upside that once was there. There is Brian Robinson facing at me. I could draft them both right now. I could just draft them both and just be secure and see which one ends up taking most of the touches, and just do that. But I don't want to do that. What kind of a that's this? I don't want to make that decision.
You don't need that. You have 3 stud running backs. You don't even need Eckler.
Dude, you know what? Having as many running backs as possible is such a huge benefit. Man, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get Austin Eckler here. Veteran presence.
Just get Brian Robinson too. Just do it. Just get the stack. Get the stack. Get the stack, bro. Get the stack.
I'm gonna make sure one of you guys can have love. That's fine. But I'm gonna make sure nobody gets.
I knew you were gonna fucking do that. That's what literally knew that was happening, bro. God damn it!
Wow, Richardson
Love
and
went
Daniels.
too right before you picked.
How are you gonna decide who to start on a week-to-week basis?
God will decide, dude.
Coin toss.
God will decide.
That's crazy. Oh man.
But can you imagine the capital I'm losing by making both those picks right now? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at all the players still on the board. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fun
fact, real quick, show it before you begin.
Yeah.
The point total at the end of the season from quarterback 1 and quarterback 2 is always less than any other position. So the separation from quarterback 1 and quarterback 2 is the least amount of separation compared to RB1 to RB32, tight end 1 to tight end 32. So another reason why going quarterback early is not the best move, but there's just two. It's a market.
Unless you hit.
Yeah, unless you hit.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I still don't have a quarterback. Brock Purdy's there looking at me.
Big cock
Yeah.
Brock.
Big cock Brock or Caleb Williams is there.
Small cock Caleb is what they call him.
I can make so many jokes about this right now, but
I know.
I'm keeping it PG.
That's hilarious. All right. Okay. What am I gonna do here? All right. So I could go quarterback. Or should I just keep going, running back, receiver? How many running backs do I have? 3 running backs. Are there any running backs here that I would be inclined to picking up? Chase Brown. Chase Brown's there.
Yeah.
Such a country singer name.
Chase.
Kane. It's because it sounds like Kane
Chase
Brown.
Atkins and Kane Brown.
That's hilarious. Shoot, this is getting tough. Hold on. Okay. I'm scrolling too much. I'm going to go back up.
No such thing, bro. No such thing.
Let's see. I don't like Zeke. I don't like Blake Corum, Dalton Schultz, Curtis Samuel.
Take Zeke and Rico. Go back to back with Zeke and Rico. You're set.
Holy
I
crap.
can actually do that.
It's like it's telling me, like, at this point, I would probably just kind of like freak out because I'm losing time. And I would draft Caleb Williams at this one because I'm looking at all my potential players I could draft. These guys are probably going to come back.
Oh, you got the stack. Yeah, I forgot you had DJ Moore.
I
do have DJ Moore as well. And so, yeah, I am going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I like it, dude. I think he's going to be very fantasy relevant year 1.
Yeah, preseason, pretty good. The hype looked like it's real.
All right, Caleb goes. Big cock. Oh my God, quarterback run. Why are these guys drafting second quarterbacks already? Fuck off. Big cock Brock.
Algorithm.
Jared Goff goes. Okay, sick. So now I need a quarterback desperately. I was honestly praying that Jared Goff. I'm not praying. I assumed Jared Goff would be there, and I was going to be like 14 of 17 indoor games. But lo and behold, that man is.
Why are they drafting 2 quarterbacks? That makes.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Fucking algos. All right. So Justin Herbert, great quarterback, terrible team, also hurt. Don't know what's going on with him. Trevor Lawrence, some pretty good value down here, to be honest. Although his stat lines in fantasy is completely underwhelming. He's like the guy that gets you 14 to 17 points, and it's just so disgusting. Is this the year that he finally makes the jump to 20? I honestly don't think it is, but I don't have a lot of options here. Kirk, I could take Kirk. I could take Kirk in an offense that actually I expect to take the next step. My only fear is how much Bijan action are we going to get? Oh my God. I have a stack option here too, boys. I didn't even see it.
Aaron
Mr. 45-year-old Aaron Rodgers with the Garrett Wilson stack. Am I stacking?
I think
I
it's
went
the wrong
like full
kind of
dynasty.
stack.
Yeah, I went full dynasty mode until it got to like the most important position. I'm like, I'll take the 55-year-old. Oh man, this is tough. Okay, if you guys were me, I think I'm personally leaning Trevor Lawrence. It comes with a ton of risk. Who would you guys take as a quarterback here?
I'm scrolling down a little bit and I'm getting Deshaun Watson right here. That's what I'm doing.
I can see that. I see that from you. Shovit, your thoughts here.
All right, I'm looking at so if Shashowt's theory holds, you can wait and get Will Levis, right? And then you would just do a flyer on a weekly basis and keep
I'd be
stacking.
streaming quarterbacks.
You could stream quarterbacks, but then get Will Levis later on, right? Or I am going to go with Kirk Cousins here. He's the guy that I feel pretty sure about out of all these other guys. Yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, yes, but until that offense proves that it's really dynamic and really great, I'm not bought in yet. So I'm going to go to Kirk Cousins here.
Damn, Baker Mayfield's sitting there too. Like, yo, what about me? I just did all that shit last year.
He did.
Bryce Young, sophomore surge.
Oh my God.
Imagine you be the guy that calls that though. You're like, you know what? I'm taking Bryce Young in fantasy.
Yeah, Mike Clay of ESPN has called that already, but I think that's when I lost respect for him. So we'll see. We'll see if he's right.
Seems like he's just calling it to call it. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Kirk O'Chains. We've come full circle moment here. I have to draft a quarterback that left my favorite team here. Kirk, bring me a championship in fantasy. So I will bring you on as my quarterback.
By the way, in real life situation, you would have some much better options because there's no way people are drafting 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. In real life, I think Jared Goff would be there, and I would happily be taking Jared Goff here with value. I would have gladly taken Jared Goff. But again, the reality is the drop off between Goff or the difference between Goff and Kirk isn't very drastic. So it's fine. It's fine to take Kirk. So I'm okay with it. So at the turn, I'm coming back around. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna get some value here since I took Brock Bauer. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'm going to do it. I took Zach Moss. Why not take the other guy? I took Chase Brown. There we go. Now I'm set at running back.
Boom.
Nice. All right. So I think I have all my teams. So now I'm just going to have fun and see what I can do, basically. So let's see. Let's try to get some guys that, you just never know. You just never know what could happen.
What position are you targeting?
Yeah, any. Yeah, I'm not targeting anything right now. I'm just trying to get the best player available to me. Romeo Dobbs, one of y'all's guys. He's still there. Romeo Dobbs is just chilling.
It's a Jaden Reed drafted.
What's that? Christian Watson, I think.
He got drafted last round. Okay.
You know what I'm gonna do is I am gonna go with TJ Hawkinson here. I think that after the injury, I think there's going to be a massive upside for him. He can just chill there for me for a while, and he comes back, and then I could do 2 tight end strategy there.
That's solid.
I don't know Darnold's tight end stats though. I actually haven't looked at that. I don't know how much he likes tight ends. I think he just throws interceptions, so like all his stats get all mumbo jumboed up in Jets land. But maybe it'll be new down here.
I got some, real quick, side note. I got some real like Darnold Fugazi for you guys that all the Darnold haters just need to like sit and spew on a little bit, right? So listen to this real quick. Sam Darnold in 2019 with the Jets led him to a 7-6 record, right? Jamison Crowder was their wide receiver 1, and Adam Gase was their head coach, and we already know how that turned out. 2020, the Panthers with Sam Darnold started 3-0, and then CMC had a season-ending injury.
Oh yeah, that's right.
2022, the Panthers started 1-5 with Baker Mayfield, replaced with Sam Darnold. Same exact team went 4-2. Same exact team went 4-2. And this man also helped Robbie Chosen have a 1,000-yard receiving season. So just food for thought there. Just little food for thought there. Spew on that. stir it a little bit, shake it up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Justin Jefferson is going to like fall off or anything. I just don't know how many touchdowns they're going to score, how well that offense is going to gel.
Dude,
like
I don't think you need to worry about that. I think
quarters.
Justin Jefferson is going to end up being number one wide receiver. Like, you just, where's the ball going? Where's the ball going?
It's like the thing is the team can suck, right? Darnold can still throw 30 interceptions, but if he's force feeding Jefferson 15 targets a game, we're going to lose a lot of games. Us as fans are going to be pissed, but Justin Jefferson as a fantasy person, number one for sure. That's honestly how I see it playing out too. Like he is going to force the ball to Jefferson. Yeah. We're going to not like it at times because he's going to be intercepted and shit, but he's going to force the ball to his best player.
Yeah, target share is going to be like 30.
Yeah, I saw a stat that said that Sam Darnold had the worst, like 31st in the league of dropbacks when he ran play action, right? So like it was one of the worst accuracy when he did that. But that's where KOC comes in the picture, and you know he could code. That could be a coaching thing. So yeah, I mean there's definitely upside. And I'll leave it at that.
Showt, you're back on the clock.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So what I don't have so far is a tight end. If I've waited this long, I don't think I need.
I know who you're taking.
No, I'm not.
You're not going to take a tight end?
No, I'm gonna wait a little bit, maybe till my next pick.
Oh wow.
I have an early prediction on who he's going to take. I'm going to text Shovit real quick and see.
Okay. Ooh, that'd be wild.
Taysom Hill.
Imagine. He's like N'Keal Harry.
Oh man.
All right. I'm gonna stack up. I'm gonna go stack different kind of stack.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Stack it up.
Jerome.
Mr. Starting the season as a starter.
It's a run first offense. They're all balls go through the running back. There's this Nick Chubb stuff is overhyped. We saw him do stuff in the gym. It doesn't work like that. There's a play speed and there's like a rehab speed. We're watching all the rehab speed highlights right now. It ain't the same thing. So I think chunk of the carry is going to go to Ford. So I have a lot of running backs. I should probably stop doing that. And then at this point, right, Hill, Ridley, Rice, consistent as fuck. I got to go for upside here, and I don't know what better place to go than right there.
Did you guys see that play he made the other day in the end zone on that deep ball?
I did not.
Dude, Michael Pittman Jr. was saying that he's learning how to run better routes from Adonai Mitchell. Weird.
Wow.
Weird.
Okay.
What'd you text him? What was the player?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you because you haven't taken a tight end.
Oh.
Got it. All right. So I am looking at my list. The top players there. He's just screaming at me. He's like telling me, like, "Hey, dude, you just gotta pick me. Just pick me, bro."
If there's anything you and I have learned from this podcast show, but it's that anytime Shashowt says anybody's name like this and just keeps talking about it, you should probably just take him because lo and behold, Showt's gonna have him in a fantasy league and he's gonna end up putting up 1,000 yards. So just take him now. Take him right now.
It's literally Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed. Like everybody else, they call each other like number one wide receivers and stuff, but like we've seen who they trust when things go down. Ball's always going to Jaden Reed. Ball's always going to Romeo Doubs. So I don't know if things are going to change, but it probably won't.
It could be Bo Melton. Bo Melton could be the sleeper that none of us decided to pick.
But that being said, Romeo Doubs is the guy who I'm going to draft right there.
I like it. Tyler Lockett, Chuba, Herbert gets drafted, and Jerry Jeudy. I am back on the clock here. What do I need? What's my team look like? Oh, God. Okay. Kirk Cousins, James Cook, Montgomery, Wilson, Harrison, Bowers, Neighbors. Holy shit. Jaden Reed, Moss Brown. So I get the Moss Brown combo. So I'm set depending on who decides to be the guy there. I could still take Aaron Rodgers, get that crazy stack in case, Kirk's Achilles is a little bit more slower. Right. They're like Achilles brothers. So they can talk about their Achilles. Rehab together on the team. Oh man, I imagine how annoyed these two guys would get if this was their team with a bunch of like 20-year-olds and they're both like 35 and 40. Holy shit.
He's already showing it. Aaron Rodgers already like pissed off on the sidelines. He's already throwing people under the bus. He was like, I think Garrett Wilson can be better if he just hits that corner right. You know what I mean? So he's telling him indirectly he's not good enough. So I don't know if that's gonna hold up, but
that's ridiculous, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Four receivers, 4 running backs, right? So I could go either way. I could take, Jalen Wright's got some upside here this year, in my opinion, but Rico Dowdle, technically, like, unless we think 30-year-old Zeke's going to get every carry, like, I don't know. I'll get a piece of that slice, I guess. So Rico Dowdle. And then coming back on the turn, I am going to take a guy that I just randomly hope goes off because I like the way he plays and I like who his mentor is, and he should get some opportunity. Xavier Legette
Nice.
for the Carolina Panthers.
Solid.
I
Oh,
don't
dude.
know. There was like an injury of some kind, but I don't know if it's severe. It looks like he's not even labeled as an injured person, so I guess that's better.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right. So now, this would, I said my team is like completely done, and I forgot we still have to do like defenses and special teams. But
Do we
I'm
though?
not going to do that. Yeah. This is mock. So
For the
just,
sake of this mock, we should just not draft kicker and defense so that we
Yeah.
can try to find some 15th round value or 14th.
yeah, let's keep it going. And so one guy that kind of jumps off the board is Jalen Wright, explosive offensive. Any of the guys, Mostert or Achan get injured, Jalen Wright could be the guy that takes a lot of the carries. There's also another guy though, which is kind of weird. Jeff Wilson is still there too, I believe.
No chance. I think he could get cut. I think he's going to get cut personally.
So I am going to go with Jalen Wright here for the Miami Dolphins upside.
Think about it like this, right? We have Devon Achan. Mostert already got drafted. Jalen Wright's a rookie. So the reality is 30, probably the old kind of has been Jeff Wilson, or is probably going to be the guy that gets cut. There's the odd man out.
So it was Cole Kmet, but couldn't get him.
got
He's
taken?
gone. He's gone.
Where'd he get taken?
Right after you. Right after
Oh,
you.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
It was Cole Kmet? Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So my guess, what should I tell you my guess? Because you can still take it.
Well, I'm gonna pick one right now. I just don't know who to pick, but I don't like any of these picks. So I learned a valuable lesson today. Is I can stack up my running backs as much as I want, but if I don't get a starting tight end that I like and I have to face this lineup right now, I got to fix that problem. So Luke Musgrave obviously is really good, but I don't want any part of that pie. Romeo Dobbs may go off. Jaden Reed may go off. Christian Watson may go off, but I want no pieces of any of that. It's too risky. I'm a consistency guy, and that's about as inconsistent as it's going to get. So I'm going to stay away from that offense besides the running back. And I'm going to pick. Oh, this sucks. I might just not pick a tight end and just wait. All right.
Just keep scrolling. He's there. The manifestation is coming to life.
I'm scrolling away, and the old man's waiting down there. But that'll be the next round. All right, so let me stack up with a couple more wide receivers. I'm gonna wait for, this Ayuk thing is starting to settle down and looks like he may stay after all if they do this extension, or he may leave to Steelers. That decision hasn't been made yet, so I can't really make this pick. I'm going to go with some safety nets, more safety nets. With this whole situation with their starting wide receiver, Thielen's right there. And if we are getting a Bryce Young surgeons, he will be the biggest benefactor out of all of them in doing that. So that's one pick. And then now I guess, it is what it is, and we will do what we do, and we are going to click the buttons we have to click. Are we excited about any of this? No, but we'll do it.
There it is. There it is.
Showit.
Give the viewers a showcase of the text message that I sent you so that they can see that
David
I knew. Yeah, literally. Will you reveal?
Can you see that?
It says Ertz. It says Ertz.
I know TZ.
Yeah, Ertz, baby. Not Hertz, I promise. It says Ertz.
Yeah. Not the rental company. All right. So here, we're not doing kickers. We're not doing defenses. I'm looking at Jalen Polk. I think that a lot of garbage time should happen for the New England Patriots. I'm just gonna roll the dice, and I'm gonna say that Polk might be a guy that they look at as a guy who flashes out of this rookie receiving core. They got a couple of guys, but Polk's good. So let me roll the dice on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and draft him.
I like it. A bunch of kickers and defenses are going. That leaves me Josh Palmer, who I guess is wide receiver 2 on the Chargers right now, behind Vlad. Yeah, for now. Musgrave's still there. I keep thinking this Kendra Miller thing is going to happen, but it never seems to happen because the dude is just hurt all the damn time. So I don't know what the situation with that is. Marshawn Lloyd got hurt, although he was somebody that, could have made a splash a little bit. I could get Tyler Algier and then just bank on the coach hating Bijan Robinson again, but it's a new coach, so probably won't hate Bijan as much. You know, this is a spot where you kind of have to either take somebody that you think is going to be a random home run, or you have to take somebody that's going to, you know, coincide or lockstep with your team. So I thought about maybe taking the handcuff and going Ray Davis, who the Bills drafted, who's probably going to be the backup to Cook. But I saw somebody a little bit more fun, even though I don't need any receivers. This is a guy that, outside of the fact that he slammed a fan with his helmet in college, he might have been one of the most talented receivers to come out of the draft. And he's going to play for the Bengals, and Jamar Chase with the contract situation. I don't know what all that's going to look like, but we saw how good and productive Tyler Boyd was as the wide receiver 3 when Joe Burrow's throwing the football. Jermaine Burton is a stud. He's like 4'4", 42-inch vertical, like an absolute freak show, but he also slammed his helmet at a fan after a football game. So, you know, if he can keep his head on straight, I think the talent is absolutely there. So I'll take Jermaine Burton as a flyer, and then I am going to take Jaleel McLaughlin. No, I'm going to take Ray Davis. I'm just going to handcuff my running back. Be safe. Play it safe.
Nice. Okay, what am I gonna do here? Let's see. I could definitely see about handcuff option. Kendre Miller, Jaleel McLaughlin is still there. But I see someone else that I, kind of am intrigued about, and that is Mr. Dontavian Wicks. Any injuries happen to Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson, that guy should be the guy that gets some
inevitable.
playing time. Injuries are always inevitable. You can't do anything about it. I can't control the weather, Jackie.
For a guy who has a bigger, hamstring? Like he has a bigger, one hamstring is bigger, or one something is bigger than the other for Watson. Isn't that
right?
It? Like
that's
he legitimately has a bigger hamstring. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of crazy. Is that a common thing, Dr.
Yeah. We're getting down to like the this very small, fine details here. Everybody's one side is probably bigger than the other if you're really comparing down to like a very like fiber level. And that's what they do. They tested both sides, and they're like, oh, this side's definitely stronger, and whatever. So yeah, it's way more common than we think it is.
Wow. And now he's working on it. So, hey, maybe it won't come into play. But just in case that does happen, Dontavian Wicks is right there to pick up where Watson left off, or Dobbs.
Oh, man, I forgot I got a stack here with Mitchell and freaking Anthony Richardson.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even think about that.
Surprise stack, the best kind. Wow.
And I also have a stack with Eckler and Jaden Daniels.
You might as well get Jahan Dotson here in triple stack.
I thought about it. Trust me, I thought about it. But I think I'm going to make let's see.
This is the Mr. Irrelevant of the draft, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kimani Vidal. I don't believe in this Gus Edwards hype train. I think when was the last time he was healthy for a long time? I don't really trust that side of things. So I'm going to go with him because the upside's huge, big college history too, like been stud since day one. So maybe that'll continue.
All right.
Nice.
I like it. That concludes the draft. Shashowt, you are pick number 1. Read us your team real quick.
All right. So quarterbacking it up, or do you want me to go in order of the?
However you want.
All right. So QB, I got Richardson. For my receivers, Tyreek Hill, Ridley, and Rice. Slightly above average group, like high 80s. If you were grading them from a school standpoint. And then Hill, obviously, best player in the league from NFL. So, and then running backs, I went a little older than I normally do just to kind of see how it works out. But this worked out beautifully. I got, Henry and Jacobs just leading the way. I got Zamir White in the flex when I don't want to use Rice, or if Ridley has a bad matchup. We'll work that with the matchups. And I'm not going to rule out Jerome Ford as being a starter for me either, depending on if there's any sort of annoyance with the Zamir White situation. So a lot of safety nets, a lot of upside, a lot of, veteran presence, as well as a lot of youth. So I kind of just mixed it all up. I never really do this kind of a thing, but tried it out, and it worked out pretty well from a running back, wide receiver, and a quarterback standpoint. But I took a huge hit when it comes to tight end. I'm going with probably the oldest tight end in the league right now. I'm not sure, but that could be accurate. But big on this offense. I see a lot of plays all the way till the final bell for this team. With how bad their defense is, and et cetera, et cetera. So, I'm pretty happy with this team. Next time, what I would do different is maybe not get another quarterback, right? Getting Jaden Daniels was probably not the best decision for my team. It was good for mock draft standpoint, but just not a smart move. So think about that. Get your players early, but if you're not able to get them, you're just going to have to bite the bullet and let somebody else have them, because getting Daniels prevented me from getting Cole Kmet directly. So that would have been what I wanted. And because of that decision, I didn't get to have Cole Kmet. So I'm going to fix that when I do my actual draft. And then got some youngsters in Vidal sitting in the bench, and I got some youngsters in Mitchell sitting in the bench and just kind of waiting for their opportunity. And I think those are two of my top three youngsters that could pop off this year at their respective positions. So, yeah, I'm overall content. I would give my team like a 93 overall or something like that.
It's pretty good. Nice. Let me go next.
Yeah.
All right. So for quarterback, I have Caleb Williams there. I'm pretty solid about that pick. I think the rushing upside there is good, and yeah, he throws the ball pretty well too. So there's that. Breece Hall, I'm hoping if he's a top 5 finisher this year, that's going to be a solid pick there as well. Alvin Kamara, the upside with the Saints and just getting a bunch of dump offs, I do like that. And Chris Olave as well. The air yards are there, and there's a lot of targets to be gotten in the Saints offense to Olave. So I like that as well. DJ Moore is my other receiver. My tight end's Dalton Kincaid. Lots of targets there. And then my upside player, flex player, is Xavier Worthy. Hopefully that comes into fruition. Speedster. There's going to be a debate if Adonai Mitchell or Xavier Worthy is going to be better, but he's got Patrick Mahomes. So I think anything can happen there. And then bench, Javonte Williams, Keon Coleman, great upside there. Javonte Williams is a starter. TJ Hawkinson, when he comes back, there's upside there as well. Romeo Dobbs, Jalen Wright, Jalen Polk, and Dontavian Wicks. So some safety picks, kind of like some flyer picks, but all in all, yeah, I think pretty decent. Not bad.
What would you grade your team on the school grading scale that we decided to adopt?
0 out of 100. I'll give myself a solid. I'll give him an 82. I think 82.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
I think there's just a lot of uncertainty.
What would you do differently? What would you do differently if the same situation came up?
I would probably consider getting Jaden Daniels, because I think the upside with Jaden Daniels is going to be a lot higher. And maybe not get Keon Coleman. So I would hold off on Keon Coleman, get Jaden Williams. But I also kind of did the Keon Coleman thing because you were getting a lot of running backs to try to stop you from getting receivers. So things may shake out differently in the actual draft.
Oh, they will, because we're not going to get this many quarterbacks drafted this early, so they're going to take up those spots, and there's no defense and kickers in our world, so a lot of those, it will be very different.
Yeah.
All right, so at the 12 spot, I have Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison as my wide receiver 1 and 2. Malik Neighbors just sitting nicely in the flex. Really, really youthful group. If they, are led astray, I have Kirk Cousins to ring them in as my quarterback. Be like,
I'd watch a movie about this team. This team would make a really good movie.
Kirk Cousins as the leader. And then you have, as my running backs, I have James Cook, the young up-and-coming riser, and then the wily veteran, David Montgomery, to balance him and counteract that. Jaden Reed is on my bench as my wide receiver 4. Zach Moss and Chase Brown. I didn't know which one's going to start, so I took them both. So I have them both. They'll be chilling there. Brock Bowers at the tight end spot, which hopefully, if he does really get utilized as a receiver and not even a tight end, you would assume that means, more targets or more scripted plays to him because he's such a weapon. Flyers on Rico Dowdle if, Zeke's too old. Flyers on Ray Davis if James Cook goes down. And then Xavier Legette and Jermaine Burton. I just realized I have so many young receivers on my team. It's actually crazy. This team looks like I drafted for a dynasty team, honestly.
The oldest person's Garrett Wilson.
It's insane. Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Reed, Xavier Legette, and Jermaine Burton. That is about as youthful a core as possible. Good luck, Kirk O'Chains and David Montgomery. You guys are my captains. You guys have to, reel this team in. So honestly, I give my team probably about an 87. Really, really high upside if all of the young players are good, but an 87 because again, I'm giving them a grade like the NFL does for rookie players, with no idea of how they're actually going to turn out.
Yeah. All those guys, they could all be number ones on their team immediately. So that's a lot. It's a lot of trade space too. If Legette and Jaden Reed start popping off early, I'd probably ship them off and get some sort of like another veteran
backs maybe. Yeah. Or exactly.
Yeah, you got a lot of capital to play with there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that was the mock draft. What Shovit? What were you thinking?
No, I was wondering what team probably would be able to compete. Like what other
Yeah,
team?
I was gonna say we didn't even look at the other teams.
Yeah.
That's true. We really didn't. All right, all three of us in the next 10 seconds pick the team that they think is the best team. Here we go. Let me look.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see who drafted the best.
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a pretty good team.
Yeah, I got one too. Yeah.
Sheesh.
It's
Sheesh.
weird, but it actually works, I feel like. I mean, it's not really that weird.
All right, Shovit, you were first. Which team stuck out to you?
I think team 7, dude. Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. You got a starter in Aaron Jones. You got a starter in Devin Singletary. Evan Ingram, the consistent tight end guy, safe pick. And then Patrick Mahomes is right there. So, and yeah, I think 7 hits is spot on.
Yeah, Diggs as your flex has got to be that's the definition of flexing hard.
Yeah.
Is it though? There's too many places the ball to go, man. I just don't know. I know Diggs is going to be number 1 by the end of it all. I'll argue against the Collins dudes all day. It's going to end up being Diggs with the most volume, but that's still not enough for me. I'm a little too greedy for that.
Sure.
Team 11. I think Team 11 is killing it. I know Gibbs, this injury thing, but they're saying he could be back week 1, if not week 2. That still doesn't change anything. Maybe up and down ADP by 2 plus or -2. That's probably all I'm doing here. But Gibbs, Barkley, Rachaad White for safety, and then we can see this Pollard and Elliott thing play out. I don't know, but he doesn't have to start them. He really just needs to start Gibbs and Barkley, which is already killing it over anybody else so far. Besides maybe, maybe that's it. I think that's probably the best duo so far. And then we got Metcalf, Pickens, and Higgins, right? You could do Higgins and Metcalf as a starter. Those are both wide receiver 1s in their respective ways. And then Pickens is supposed to make a huge leap this year, which I think will happen. And he's got Ladd. If any of these guys don't do well to week 1 or whatever, you can go Metcalf and Ladd. I mean, you're going to get volume. You're going to get upside, everything. Not a bad team. And he's got Cole Kmet from a tight end perspective. He got it that late. I'm just super jealous of that situation. But that worked out beautifully. And again, I'm not too hung up on the quarterback situation. But like we said, Goff has all these indoor games and just going to put up points. So I like this team. It's a very consistently solid start them and forget them type of a team.
Yeah, I'm looking at team 8 and 9 specifically because, specifically 8 just because they went 0 RB strategy, and I still like the way their team turned out. AJ Brown, Puka, and Ayuk as your receivers. You have Lamar, Pitts with the upside. Connor's a starter. Swift is a starter. Warren's going to split carries, I guess. Brian Robinson, obviously split carries, but presumed starter. So if you run these 3 receivers, I kind of like the Connor Swift with Pitts and Jackson. I also similarly like team 9 with St. Brown, Waddle, and Collins. I think that's a really good, a strong receiving trio. But yeah, dude, honestly, I kind of feel like Shashowt's team's the best at 1, to be honest, if I had to just pick one out of everybody.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think having Tyreek Hill and then having 3 basically RB1s, and then just me, how high I am on Anthony Richardson, who could finish quarterback 1, and Jaden Daniels, who could be quarterback 1 or 2, right? It doesn't seem valuable to have 2 quarterbacks, but this guy's got trade bait starting week 4 when both of these guys are running for their running and rushing and getting a bunch of yards. So I think upside play like Tyreek Hill and Anthony Richardson, if Anthony Richardson plays to his full potential, you have a quarterback 1 and a wide receiver 1, the best at their position personally. So that's what I'm looking at. And Derrick Henry has been the best at his position before. So and I'm a big believer in Rashee Rice as your wide receiver 3 makes no sense to me, to be honest. Just honestly, no sense.
Trade Jaden Daniels and maybe Mitchell and Eckler and Rice for Justin Jefferson if that team starts struggling, or if a Jamar Chase or AJ Brown, all that is in the works. Some people would pull the trigger on that once you get desperate enough after losing some players.
Yeah, some quarterback goes down and you see Jaden Daniels be rushing the first 3 weeks, and the trajectory, the trend says otherwise. Yeah, you're going to be able to trade him for basically a wide receiver 1 and an RB1. So yeah, I like it. Really good exercise, helps kind of pave the landscape of who's going to be there, what's going to be available, and gets us out of our comfort zone, drafting in spots that we're not accustomed to be drafting in. So what did you guys think? Who had the best team, me, Shovit, or Shashowt? Let us know in the comments.
One thing before, I know we're ending it, but I gotta do a shout out real quick. Got to do a shout out because this is our one fan that has listened to every single episode, and I helped him do his draft over the weekend, and he was very thankful. Reena's cousin, Mahendra Bhai, I was really shocked because I did not expect him. We haven't really talked about football that much together, but looking forward to watching some football with you and hoping Anthony Richardson does a good job because he ended up drafting him on his team.
Hell yeah. Shout out Mohinder Bhai. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Again, I'm Swikar. That is Shovit. That is Shashowt. We are the only playbook. Good luck if you're drafting soon. Hopefully you're not drafting soon. Hopefully you're waiting till all of the offseason BS is over. But once again, we will see you guys next week.